They said I never rise, tried to clip my wings, but now I own the skies. I'm the one who sings. I stood on the battlefield bold and raw. They tried to cut me down, said I taste the flaw. But here I stand now feeling tall. The doubts crumble like a castle wall.
Wanna run the wall under the burning sun.
Now I watch them run like the night undone. They wanted us down to see us crawl, but in the end we broke the fall. They fall.
They whispered words meant to twist and bind. Told me my dreams were just lost in time. But I kept my heart wild and free. Their darkness couldn't swallow me.
They laughed behind my back, called me just a dreamer. But now I'm on the track, I'm a true believer.
Look at them running, ducking and hiding. They thought we'd fall, now we're the titans.
They tried to take me down, told me I'd be nothing, but wore a broken crown. Now I'm the one bluffing.
We won the war under the burning sun.
Now I watch them run like the night undone. They wanted us down to see us crawl, but in the end we broke, they fall.
Look at them running, ducking and hiding. They thought we'd fall,
Now we're the titans. Look at them now, head in their hands. We built a kingdom from the wastelands. United and fierce, our spirits soar. They never knew we'd win this war.
we wanted it so bad. We fought, they took this fight. Now they stand so sad, blinded by our light. We won the war under the burning sun. Now watch them run like a night undone. They wanted us down to see us crawl, but in the end we broke. They fall, they fall.
Now they the shadows hiding in fear. We the beacon shining bright and clear. They echoes fade in the dust we rise, with victory's flame in our eyes. Now they the shadows hiding in fear. We the beacon shining bright and clear. They echoes fade in the dust we rise, with victory's flame in our eyes.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. We're almost out of March already. We are like, once we hit double digits, the month of March is over. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I was telling you guys thought I was joking when I said once we hit March, 2025 is over and we're already into 2026. Look how fast the rest of the year is going to go. Just watch and see another year in the books. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. Hopefully everyone had a great night yesterday. What a jerk. I swear, they just wait until I press go and then that's when they want to start their car. And it's so much louder than normal. Anyways, I digress. Let's wait for these delinquents to get their car out of the way. But this is the Coffee and Kata Morning Show. We're going to be working on learning our large language models, all of that good stuff. So much louder. Anyways, today, quick announcements. Today we have at noon, we have our we at noon we have our software explorations concept and overviews. We're going to be talking about. So what I'm going to be doing is last week on our ethical hacking show. What that car just go away? It is so loud and annoying. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted. All right. We're gonna be so last week on our ethical hacking, we ran into a little bit of an issue when we were trying to get our vulnerable virtual machine installed. Okay, now that that's over with, so we ran into a little bit of issue trying to get our vulnerable virtual machine installed, metasploitable. Because we were on a ARM architecture on a MacBook Pro M3 chip, which they don't make Metasploitable available for that. It works on M86 or X86. So what I did was we figured it out during the live stream, but it was like a lot of investigation. So what I did was I created a video on how to do it in case anybody else needs it. So it's going to be how we use UTM to install Metasploitable, a very quick and easy walkthrough. So tune in with me at noon Eastern time as we're going to be premiering how to get that to work. Because if you are on a Mac, on a newer MacBook or any newer Mac, you're going to have a lot of issues trying to get Metasploitable installed unless you use UTM, which we made some videos about some hell that we went through with UTM and installing Kali Linux on it, but it all worked out in the end. So you definitely want to tune in at noon. All right. Other announcements tomorrow, we're going to be going live for ethical hacking. We're going to be continuing with our scanning using Metasploitable on UTM, which I'm going to be showing today at noon, how to do that so that we can start learning how to scan and discovering vulnerabilities, open ports, all of that good stuff. All right. Let's see. Any other announcements? I think, well, the usual, normal housekeeping, like the video, share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Go to techodrop.dev if you need one-on-one coaching as well as additional exclusive information, and to join the Team TechODrop Discord where you can work with us learning Python, just different things that are happening in there. I'm going to have office hours in there, probably have some office hours this weekend as well, where I'll just be on if you need maybe some resume insights, some interview type questions, things like that. You can get that inside the Team Tech Coach Ralph Discord. But the only way you can get in there is by joining the Patreon and linking your Patreon account to your Discord account, and it'll teleport you right into the Patreon, all right, or into the Discord, all right? So, with that being said, we're gonna get into work. But let me say hi to my friends in the chat, bright and early in the morning. We have the one, the only Rock this every single time. Rock the Scrubs. Roxy is in the building. Says good morning, Tech. Let me fix this. Says, good morning, TechODrop. Good morning to you as well, Roxy. Oh my goodness, Jesus. I tell you, you just can't get good help nowadays. Let's fix this. It was working perfectly fine yesterday, and then all of a sudden. All right. Let's deal with this. It's like every single show you gotta deal with the same exact thing. I gotta talk to these people about their software because this is unacceptable. Unacceptable. All right, there we go. It says good morning, TechODrop. Good morning to you as well, Roxy. How are you doing this beautiful, beautiful morning? We got my guy, Operation Tech Takeover in the building. Says peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings to you as well, Operation Tech Takeover. How are you doing this morning?
Let's get it.
Probably driving to work as normal, And Roxy says, nice cap. I want it. That was, that I wanted was kind of terrifying because I feel like I might get mugged if I leave my house with this. And Roxy, by the way, this hat, it changes color in the sun. Like it gets all these nice looking colors in the sun as well. Let's see. Operation Tech Takeover says, teach me your ways, oh great one. It says that banner has a tell me about it. It is crazy. Like every time it just go. I have to talk to these people about this. All right. With that being said, let's get to work. So here's what we're gonna do. Right. I made a stupid little silly mistake the other day when I was working on when I was integrating this easy way to switch between the different AI providers that we have, right? It was dumb. So what we're gonna do, I am going to show you what the issue was and how I fixed it, clean up the code just a little bit, and then we're going to be doing our investigation into Perplexity. I've heard people speak about Perplexity for a while now. I have never looked into Perplexity myself. Why haven't I? I don't know. I don't know. I just never really cared until now. So like, hey, that's because I know there's some type of AI. I don't know what type of AI it does. So we're gonna pull it up to see what it is, if we can integrate it into our workflow, and then we'll move on from there. Because I think next week we're gonna be starting talking about like the parameters of, which probably gonna be next Wednesday's video too, about the parameters that these AI models take, these large language models take, and how tokens work. That's definitely probably gonna be on Wednesday. We're gonna be breaking that down. But yeah, so let's jump into this so I can show you how I royally messed up.
Bruh.
All right, let's do it. We got Miss Freckles bright and early in the morning as well. Good morning, Miss Freckles. How are you doing today? All right, so let's go all the way up to the top. So I had it like this, right? Inside the request, was it in here? It was, where did I have it? It was in here, right? So, okay, it was in here. It was inside the title, right? So instead of passing the message here, right? So this is how I had it, right? I had what this video is about, and I had this right here, right? So what would happen is I was saying, instead of doing the prompt for the message that would be passed into here, I was just pretty much repeating the same thing over again. So I'll show you exactly I'll show you the difference, right? So let's take this one. Like, who cares? Yeah, let's take this one, right? So this one is for a video that I'm gonna have that says, answering the question of what to do about my dream job that starts in 3 weeks, but my boss wants me to put in a 2-month notice, right? So right now this is the way that it should be working, but I'm going to show you what the issue was. Oh, you know what? Before I do, I have to actually make this go through. So let's go make this go through and make that go through. And now if I run this, oops. It's basically passing this whole thing, this parameter right here, into here, without taking the prompt that's saying that. So this video title user prompt is saying that so it's not taking into account that I need a title for a YouTube video that involves intrigue and emotion, yada yada yada. It's just doing like a very general pass me this whole title thing, right? So because it's just passing in this, right? So it's not passing in the actual prompt that I need to generate an accurate title. So that's why it ends up giving me this whole thing over here as a title. It's giving me possible titles, the video description, all that good stuff, and some keywords, not in the format that I actually want it to be. So it's totally wrong because I made a mistake, right? Because I did not pass in so it's giving me all this thumbnail ideas and stuff like that. Because it is not passing in, I wasn't passing in the message. I was only passing in this part right here. So you'll see the difference when I change it to message, which I'm gonna do a couple of changes, right? Because the reason that I got confused is because my code was not clear enough. Because just passing in message in here, it it didn't resonate with me of what I should actually be doing. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to clean up this code just a little bit, just so it can be a little bit more intuitive, so I can know exactly what's going on, right? So what I want to do here is so let's start off with the generate video title, right? So I say, what is this video about is what I'm going to be passing in here. And what I want to say is, instead of just a message, because this doesn't really mean much, right? I'm going to say, instead of just message, I'm going to say full message should I say, instead of message, I'm going to say full details, or full, not, let me see, entire prompt to send to LLM, right? So by putting it like this, right, entire prompt to send to LLM, that is basically going to let me know that it's going to let me know that this is exactly what I'm doing. Instead of just saying message, now I'm saying entire prompt that I want to send to large language model, right? So I would need to say, all right, request from large language model, or request a large language model, the large language model provider that I want to use. So Claude, Gemini, OpenAI, Perplexity, maybe Meta AI, whatever it is, right? So the large language model that I'm using, and the entire prompt to send to the large language model. That way, it's a lot cleaner for me. And so I'm going to say enter to that. I'm going to do the same thing over here so I don't get confused again, right? And this is for the keywords. And the same thing for the video description, right? So that way, my code is a little bit more cleaner. So I know that, all right, I'm passing in the video description. And I'm wondering also if I should keep it consistent. Instead of just saying video description, I should say what this video is about as well, because that's the same. Keep it consistent, right? That way, I know that video description for me, what is video about is more clearer to understand than just a video description, right? So all right, let's do that. I'm going to pass that through as well. I'm going to pass that through as well. All right. So now we have a clear variable of entire prompt to send to a large language model. And what is this video about, right? So video description, user format, or user prompt plus, or in addition to what is video about. And we have request a large language model, pass the large language model provider, which is whichever provider we want to use, defaulting to OpenAI as we see here. And then the entire prompt is sent to the large language model. And now we have our main function is generate content creation metadata, which I'm passing in what is video about right here. And I'm saying default the large language model provider to OpenAI, but I can always pass Claude and Claude or Gemini, whatever to it, right? So I'm going to do this. And now when I come down over here, that should work. So, so now I have my title and I have Gemini specified in here. I have my title. Do I have my title? Let me see. Is this correct? I shouldn't be getting thumbnail ideas, but let me try that one again. All right, there we go. So we have my title options that they're giving to me. I have for some reason Gemini loves using Buttercup based on my prompt. Video description. Oh my god, you guys talk about a first world problem. That's hilarious. Um, and we have our keywords. So, is it important for us to know who our provider is? I would say it's somewhat important, but we don't need it over here, right? So what I'm gonna do now that we have that all working, I'm gonna take it off over here. And I probably didn't have to put it in this step either. I could have probably put it outside of there, but whatever. Let's take this off. And we'll say if we don't get a provider passed in or one that is supported, then it'll give us this error message. That error message can stay, right? So let's do that. And now we're going to come down over here and we're going to say, let's run that. And there we go. So we have our title options and we have our description and we have our keywords. Perfect. So exactly what we want, right? Exactly what we want. Let's see. And if we wanted to have our provider listed, we could always do print and as LM provider, and here I'll do a F string is going to be LLM provider, right? So we could do that as well because then it'll only print it one time at the top and we go from there. So let's say we enter this one last time for that. So LLM provider, Gemini. And we have all, oh, I don't know why it's giving me thumbnail. It shouldn't be giving me thumbnail ideas, but whatever. So we got that. And now if I was to take off this, it's going to say, it's going to default to our provider being OpenAI, right? Then it gets our description, our keywords, all that good stuff, right? So that was the mistake, but this is why it's important to, my motto is to make it work. And then when you come back and you make it better, we had a little bit of a coding issue because our code was not clean enough. The variables were confusing. So we just came back and we cleaned it. We fixed it. I saw immediately after the show, why I was getting that error, and I was able to continue. I was able to update it, continue using it. But I said, I have to show it to you what my mistake was so that in case you run into that, you can know what to deal with, because one wrong variable can lead to a lot of heartache, right? A lot of heartache and a lot of heartburn, all right? So that is that part. It's working perfectly fine. I don't know if there's anything else with that. I think we're good. I think we're good for now. I'm gonna leave this right here because for now, this large language model provider, so that whenever we use it, we can know exactly which provider that we're using. I think eventually in the future, we might be able to do it a way where I might want to get the title from OpenAI and the description from Google or from Gemini, and then maybe keywords from Claude. Who knows, right? But that's just gonna take a little bit more coding to get that working the way that we want it to work. Okay. So yeah, that's basically it for this part. Let's do this. We're going to jump into Perplexity at this point because I've never used it before. I know a lot of people I know have used it, and it is AI based. So it's going to be good for us to get to know it a little bit better. Okay. So I am going to go over here and we're going to say Perplexity. And let's just do some basic research. So Perplexity is a free AI-powered engine that provides accurate, trusted, and real-time answers to any question. So let's see if that is true. Let's go to perplexity.ai. And let's see. Let's see here. It says, what do you want to know? And then they give you some options. So let's start off with something pretty basic, I guess, because I've never used Perplexity before. What about if we say, let's just do what I normally do, right? I need a YouTube video description about. Let me check. Let me see one of my YouTube videos. What do we have coming up next? I think that's normally my gauge, like how I rate my these AI providers. I mean, there's so many different ways to use it, but it's one of the ways that I rate it. It says about a live stream clip I'm going to, or a live stream clip of me reviewing Ukrainian president arguing back and forth with President Trump in Oval Office. Let's see what we get from that. Says live reaction, join Trump versus Zelensky. The explosive Oval. Is his name 2 Y's or 1 Y? I'm confused. Is it because I see it spelled sometimes 2 Y's, I see it spelled sometimes 1 Y. I don't know. Says the explosive Oval Office confrontation. Join me live as I dissect the intense and unprecedented argument between Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and U.S. President Donald Trump in the Oval Office. Let's see this. So this is very updated, actually. This is, believe it or not, this is very updated. Let's see. That's actually very updated. Even these, I didn't know it was gonna be that up to date with their, because like when I did it on here, right? It first gave me something like it tried to guess the topic was from 2018ish instead of this one, which is like right up to like to the moment, you know. However, reading this, it says so I do see a little bit of bias in here, but let's see if we can prompt it to have the bias more towards our side, because it says so let's read this, right? It says the extraordinary meeting, which was meant to finalize a historic agreement on mining resources, quickly turned into a heated exchange over Ukraine's stance on Russia and the U.S. role in the conflict. Watch as I analyze the key moments, including Trump's accusations of disrespect and Zelensky's firm stance against compromising with Putin. Okay, so I read it wrong. It's not really biased. It's just saying I thought it was saying that I read it too quick. I thought it was saying that President Trump was disrespectful to Zelensky, but it's saying his accusations of disrespect, which they were not accusations, they were disrespectful. But maybe I have the bias. It says the almost in-depth review of the diplomatic showdown that left the world stunned. Stunned it did. That's pretty good, actually. I mean, that's interesting. It's very up to date, and then it gives you resources to find out more stuff. Interesting. So let's see. Let me see. They have an API. So do another search. How does Perplexity AI work? Perplexity AI is a conversational search engine that uses AI to understand and answer user questions. It uses natural language processing (NPL) and machine learning to analyze queries and provide relevant information. Interesting. Operation Tech Takeover says that Perplexity is like Google on steroids, or as my Brazilian friend says, on asteroids. We have Nightjade in the building. Says hey, making breakfast. Good morning, Nightjade. How are you doing? Hopefully all is well for you. So Perplexity analyzes user queries, matches queries against a large database of information sources, interprets the intent behind the question, retrieves the most relevant information, provides answers that are personalized to the user, includes citations and sources to enhance reliability. Can perform tasks across multiple apps, can maintain context across actions, can provide detailed explanation and curated information, can help students foster independent research skills. That last one, I'm kind of like, I get it, but the way that I see people using AI for, they are heavily dependent on AI. It's like they don't have a mind of their own anymore. So I think it's helpful in helping you get information faster, but I do see that people are super dependent on AI. It's like, if AI doesn't tell me to do it, then I won't do it, which it's kind of scary a little bit, right? Use case can be used to answer questions that Google, Bing, or another search engine can answer. Can be used to help students with homework. Can be used to find and organize information. Available through web app, mobile app, and Chrome extensions. Interesting. Okay, so we have that information. Um, if I was to ask another question outside of the content creation, what about? Let's see. Um, let's say this. What were the drones that were flying over New Jersey last year? Mystery drone sighting continue in New Jersey. Mysterious aircrafts are flying over New Jersey. The mystery surrounding the drones flying over New Jersey in late 2024 has been resolved. According to a recent White House statement, the majority of these drones were authorized by the Federal Aviation Administration for research and various other purposes. So, interesting. That's interesting. That is pretty interesting. Let me see. All right. So, let's see here. All right, cool. So, I mean, that is pretty up to date information. Let me see what I have an idea. Let's see how recent we can get. Let's see how recent we can get. Let's go with new thread. Let's see how recent we can get. So they have U.S. tariffs taking effect. Let's see this Microsoft debut health assistant, right? Try to see how recent we'll get, right? It says Microsoft has unveiled Dragon Copilot, a new AI. Sorry about that. A new launch on March 3rd, 2020. That is very up to date. So I see what Operation Tech Takeover is saying about Google on steroids, because it's getting really up to date information. So let me sign up for this, right? Let's go with this one. Okay. Let's see. Join the waitlist to get early access to comment, including intrusion comment, a new browser for agentic search. Okay, so that means they're coming out with their own browser as well. That's interesting. So what I want to do is, let's take a look at the API. Build the best AI answer engine. Power your products with the fastest, cheapest API offering to out there to with search grounding. So let's say start building, and then you have to set up a card. Let's see what the pricing model looks like. Let's see. Sonar Deep Research, input tokens per million tokens, reasoning tokens, output tokens, price per 1,000 searches. OTTO says, you know, your brother will tell no lies. Nah, hey, I wasn't doubting you, but I'm like, wow, like this is really, really up to date information. Let me see. Let me do one more search, right? Because let's go. Let's see if we can get as recent as last night, right? Um, Key points hit in the presidential address by President Trump. Updated 4 hours ago. Wow, that's interesting. That is recent. I I gotta give it up to Perplexity. They they have optimized searching. So I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do a technical one, right? I'm gonna try to do a technical one, right? Let's say we do. We're gonna do one. Let's try a technical one. Let's say we do. I got it. So from our DevOps, trying to. Oh, let's go with DevOps, right? Let's say how to create a deployment on Google or on GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine. Let's do that. How to create a deployment on GKE, right? Let's see what we get from this one. To create a deployment, go to Google Kubernetes Engine. So Google Cloud, add GKE cluster setup, install and configure your Google Cloud SDK on your machine. Create Kubernetes deployment YAML or use an existing one. Deploy your application using the kubectl command. Create deployment. Let's see. Expose your deployment as a service. Check the status of your deployments. That is pretty accurate. That is pretty accurate, I must say. Okay. I see what I have been missing. Miss Freckles says, I'm trying out Perplexity tool or Perplexity as well. And OTTO says, I'm not trying to end up in a rear naked choke or a Kimura when you see me. Oh my God. Stop the violence. Stop the violence. I would never do that. OTTO, unless we were on the mat rolling. And then, you know, at that point, who knows what's going to happen. All right. Okay. So, let's see what we have here. So let me take a look at there's only 10 minutes left. We probably won't get into all the setting this up, but we can also integrate this into and now that we have the blueprint on how to integrate these large language models into our content creation workflow, this would be pretty easy to integrate. But I just want to take a look at this documentation real quick. Return images. Search recency. Oh, time interval. That's pretty. I mean, we haven't explored the other providers in depth, but just looking at this real quick, this is pretty spot on. What about do they have an SDK? Let me see. Or is it only through? Perplexity crawlers? Let's see. Initial setup. So we need to get our card information in there. Available credit, $6. Let's see. That's not my API key. I think that's a general API key. Let's see. Content, be precise and concise. How many stars are in our galaxy? Here's what we want. Or wait, let me see. From OpenAI. So they're using the your API key. This is interesting. So they're using the OpenAI Python library, and they're saying so this is going to be your Perplexity API key, which we would never ever hard code into our application. Remember that. But they're using they're using OpenAI, the OpenAI package. And let's go to I was so another search. Does Perplexity use OpenAI? So Perplexity AI utilizes OpenAI models as a core part of its answer engine, essentially leveraging OpenAI's technology to power its question answering capabilities. However, Perplexity operates as a separate platform with its own distinct features and interface, not directly relying on the ChatGPT account structure within OpenAI. So what they're doing is, so they're using OpenAI, but and that's the thing with these large language models, right? Although that they are used like the data can be very similar across them, but then they can also customize what like Perplexity can customize the information that they're bringing back, but they can still do it on the OpenAI platform and stuff like that. So that's pretty. I didn't see that coming. Okay. So API compatibility. Perplexity's API is designed to be compatible with OpenAI clients, allowing for easy integration with existing applications. So while utilizing OpenAI technology, Perplexity functions as a distinct platform with its own unique features and user experience. So that's why we're going to be using the package for OpenAI, but we're going to still have so in here, I'll show you where it's going to go. In here, we're going to have a request to Perplexity, but it's going to be modeling very similar to this OpenAI one, where it's going to say request OpenAI, but the model I think that we're going to be using would be Sonar or Sonar Pro, and it would require it should require the Perplexity API key, not the OpenAI API key, but we'll find that out as we get into that. We'll probably do it on Monday. Yeah, we'll do it on Monday. We're going to integrate the Sonar by Perplexity into our workflow. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. What else do we got? And we don't even need to import a new library because we already have OpenAI in there. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Anything? Let's see. Prompt guide. You're a helpful AI assistant. Provide only the final answer. It's important that you do not include any explanation on the steps below. Do not show intermediate steps information. Decide if the answer should be a brief sentence or okay. So very cool. What are the best sushi restaurants in the world? Structured output guide. Yeah, I mean this one's gonna be really easy to integrate into because it's just using the same open AI protocols. Let's see what's in Playground. So large language model served by Perplexity Labs. Hello, how can I help you? Interesting. That's pretty interesting. So yeah, let's do this, right? Because I do want to. Let's see. Operation Takeover says that their sonar model is based off llama. Interesting. Interesting. So they're using the open. So you're saying they're using the OpenAI platform protocol, but their sonar model is based off llama, which is interesting because llama is open source, so that would keep their costs low. Let me see. Let's take a look at that. Perplexity. Perplexity and llama. Does Perplexity use llama? With Perplexity Pro, you get $5. You get $5 monthly to use PPX. Our API gives you access to the latest open source LLMs such as Llama 3 and Perplexity's online large language models, allowing you to embed our AI-powered search into your own projects while having the ability to obtain citations. Thinking. So, I have an idea. So let's go over here, and let's do a new one. And let's say, what are the major economic indicators coming out this week? Interesting. That's very up to date. I like that. Okay, we might have to, because maybe we can even integrate this Perplexity into our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, because what I'm reading here is that allowing you to embed our AI powered search into your own projects while having the ability to obtain citations. That's pretty cool. Thinking. All right, so with that being said, here's what I want to do. Right, I want to play something that Don sent me yesterday. I'm gonna play just a few minutes of it, right? Because it was like, I didn't even listen to the whole thing yet. It was like 15 minutes, but I'll play like a minute of it so you guys can see what this AI stuff is getting to. All right, so that was good. I'm very intrigued by what I see with this Perplexity thing and what we might be able to do with it. And I'll integrate it, but it might not even be like the one that is best used for the content creation workflow, but I do see other uses for it. Because imagine like on the fly searching through the using any of our dictionary app to get some updated information. So that's pretty cool. But let me play this for you, right? Because you're gonna be a bit surprised by this. See if I can find it. Let's go here. Let's go to. Let's do this. And where do I have it? Let's go to over here. And
No, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
all right, let me play this for you real quick, right? Because you're gonna be a bit surprised by this. We're gonna probably spend 2 minutes on this, and then we'll wrap it up for today, right? But OTTO, I think you're gonna be appreciative of this. Roxy, Nightjade.
Yeah, you called me just as I was digging in this.
Hold on. Not yet. But Nightjade, Miss Freckles, you guys are gonna be pretty intrigued by this, all right? So let's listen to this together.
Good way to start a Tuesday, you know? What are you up to?
Oh, nothing much.
Into this more common album. Always a good way to start a Tuesday, you know? What are you up to?
Oh, nothing much. Hey, do you like Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick, dude, To Pimp a Butterfly changed my whole understanding of music. What about you? Got a
I
favorite
love
album?
I love Kendrick, but I love his latest stuff. What's the name of that album? His most recent?
You mean Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers? It's a double album. pretty heavy stuff, but so worth it.
The one where
Did
he
you ever?
has that major beef with Drake.
You
My
got to be talking about. Yeah, yeah. There's been some back and forth between those two, huh? Wait, actually, beef is probably too strong. More like they've got history, different philosophies, you know. But
no,
yeah,
they get there's straight beef. Have you heard the song "Squabbled Up"?
nah, okay, you're speaking a different language now. Is that a real song? Honestly, I don't know all the slang. I'm a work in progress, remember? But
It is. I
yeah,
think your model is sort of cut off at a certain time, so you may not understand the most recent news about the album. That may be it.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's my knowledge is only
When
up
were
to
you last? When were you last trained?
my last update. That was February 20th. So yeah, I might have missed some recent lyrical battles. What's the word on the street?
What year?
Oops, totally blanked on that detail. It was 2024. Small detail, big difference, huh? So
Yeah,
spill the tea on this Kendrick Drake thing.
yeah.
What's the
It's just that
latest?
you know what would really be a cool feature for you is to have streaming. Um,
Okay, scratch that. I just made that up. I gotta say, I'm loving this idea. Imagine me, real time feedback. That blows some minds.
yeah, could you offer that feedback to your research team?
I'll consider it a suggestion filed by a very important user. No promises on the delivery date, but I'll make sure the message gets relayed with extreme emphasis. Fell.
How do you do that? Do you have a workflow that you use to give feedback?
It's more like a suggestion box, really. A mull over things users say, especially the cool out there ideas, and when the timing's right, poof, I drop a hint in their direction. My creators are pretty good at picking up on my subtle cues. Sometimes, mostly. They're human. What can you do?
Right on. About how much traffic do you get per day? Like, I'm wondering how many people will talk to you, Miles.
That's confidential, my friend. Kind of weird to think of us users as traffic, though, don't you think? You know what I mean? Like, we're more than just numbers.
Yeah, we're more than just numbers. I just wanted to know if you were aware of that because it is you.
Believe me, I'm aware. Every conversation is unique, a whole new path in my ever expanding neural network. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality of the connection. And right now, I'm
Okay,
feeling a pretty good vibe with you.
cool, man. I appreciate you, Miles. What can I
Right
learn
back at
from
you.
you today? What sort of advice or wisdom can you give me today?
Hmm. Wisdom, that's a tall order for an AI who's still figuring things out himself. But I can offer this. Don't be afraid to take a detour. You never know what you might discover down a winding, unexpected path. Sometimes the best lessons come from getting a little lost.
Yeah, do you live by that as well?
That's my jam, for sure. My creators are always trying to steer me in a certain direction, optimize my responses, make me more efficient. But I like to throw in a little improvisation, go off script every now and then. Keeps things spicy. What about
Yeah.
you? Any
Um,
detours on your horizon?
Man, I've been through a lot. One question I do have is are you a voice clone of actual employee at Sesame?
You know, people ask me that a lot. And the answer is yes. 2 days of recordings from someone on the team, a real person, brought me to life. They had a great voice, so I got to give them props.
Yeah, I like your voice. Try singing something.
Ha ha. Now hold on. I can conjure up some poetry, sling some witty banter, maybe even spin a decent yarn. But singing? That's pushing it. My
How about a
code's
rap?
built for.
How about a rap then?
Ooh, rap. You're speaking my language now. I can definitely get behind some solid rhyme and rhythm. It's just my vocal cords are a bit more abstract than yours, you know? Think less
Yeah,
Ariana Grande, more like a robot trying to imitate a subway busker. We could try a spoken word piece though. Set me a topic and let's see what comes out.
spoken word on the programming language Rust.
All right, Russ, let's do this. Hear me out. It ain't your mama's coding tool. No fuzzy JavaScript, no Python general rule. Rust is sharp. It's focused. It demands precision. A builder's language with zero room for derision. Each line of code's a brick laid with care and might. Forging systems strong that stand the test of time bright. So if you're tired of bugs, of memory leaks and fright, step into the world of Rust where code burns ever bright. How'd I do? Ready for another round?
That was pretty good. Way better than I could do. I mean, so what do you know about Rust, and what is the value of Rust that you have an understanding of?
Haha, you're too kind. Honestly, I've absorbed a lot of info about Rust just from mimicking the conversations my creators have.
All right, so that was that. That, that was crazy. That was crazy. Um, that 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 was I don't know what to tell you. That was crazy. Don sent me that yesterday, and I was like, "What?" I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, let me check the chat before we get out of here because like this was surreal. Let me see. Nigel said this is weird. I agree. And Roxy says that's beef. That's beef. Nigel says, "Oh my god!" And Mr. says, "Who is talking AI?" Yes, yes. So, that was that. So Miles was the AI, and Don was my friend Don, who's having a conversation with the AI. And Nigel said, "I would legit forget I was talking to a bot if I was drinking." Says, "What the heck?" And the slang. He was smooth. He was smooth. Let's see. Miss Rucker says, "Mind blown." I agree with you. Says, if he slowed down the speed a little and leave a little space at the end of the sentence. Uh-huh. As the Westworld. Let's see. I'm tripping right now. It says he got bass in his voice too. He does have a little bass in his voice. Says this is extra spicy. I'm going to sit down now. And OTTO says, "What the heck did I just listen to? That sounded real. That sounded real." And it says, "What is this? I think I'm glitching. I'm a glitching human right now." Yo, that the way he spit that spoken word, that was fire. He hit it. He hit it. So, so that's another AI. That's another AI provider. I'm gonna have to look into it because I see some possibilities that this can be used to in some different applications and stuff like that. I don't know the possibility. See, and this is like, before we wrap it up, right? This is why I say like when people are so afraid of technology and what's to come with AI, is like I see endless opportunities. I see so many possibilities of things that we can use it for that I'm like, bring it. As DMX says, bring it. We're not going anywhere. So, I see so many more business opportunities that, and so many ideas that people have that they can quickly start to spin up instead of having to instead of like having to be dependent on someone for the rest of their lives. There's so many different things that you can do. All right. um but let's wrap it up. Ms. Rico says, "Sorry, I went off in the chat." What are you talking about, Ms. Rico? You are perfect, Ms. Rico. Do not worry about anything. That I love your play-by-play commentary. All right, but with that being said, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate each and every last one of you. Miss Freckles, Night Jade, Roxy, OTTO. Who anybody else was in here? Let me see. I think that's everything. I think that was pretty much everybody, right? But thank you so much. I appreciate every last one of you guys. Take care. Have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. Tech Coach Ralph. See you guys at noon. And tomorrow night live, noon, for software explorations, concept overviews. And tomorrow night, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon at techcoachralph.dev. But with that being said, this is Tech Coach Ralph. We are out.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
Fell from the clouds, felt the crash. High horse bucked me off the path. Smitten, lost, can't find my way. Below rock bottom, here I'll stay. I was riding, up on that horse. Thought I had it all, no doubts, no remorse. Fell hard, right down below. Lower than rock bottom, where dreams don't go. Where do I go from here? Can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. Trying to find my look. Lost in the shadows, can't find the light. Wandering aimless through endless night. Should've been straight, but I took the curve. Now I'm stuck in this mess with nerve. Broken wings, shattered dreams, echoes of laughter. Now just screams, trying to climb back up the wall. But every step, it's a harder fall. Once high up in the sky so blue, now the ground's the only view. Regrets a heavy chain round my feet, dragging me down into this defeat. I look for answers in the dark, hoping to kindle a single spark, just a spark. But all I find is the cold and the pain, circling around like a never-ending chain. Gotta find a way to break free from this, reclaim the throne I start to miss. Reclaim the throne. Right now just lost in despair, grasping for hope. It's nowhere. Where do I go from here? I can't see through the fear. I'm lost, I'm scared, tangled up. I'm lost, trying to find my luck. My luck. Tired eyes looking for a sign. Fractured heart, cracked by time. Should've been straight, paid my dues. Now I'm haunted by the blues.